Welcome back, pod people. As you know, normally I do a deep dive interview with one person or a small team about a single feature film that they made. However, I just got back from the Pueblo Film Festival, and while I was there, I recorded a series of micro interviews with as many people as I could get to talk to me. I asked all of them the question that I typically end my deep dive interviews with, which is, where do you see the future of independent film going? So, without further ado, here is what the attendees of the Pueblo Film Festival see as the future of independent film.
Hi, I'm Gregory Howell. I'm the acting commissioner for the Pueblo Regional Film Commission, and this question is really important because the future of film is going to be even bigger in southern Colorado, primarily because we have had for generations creators, whether you're in front of the camera or behind the camera, whether you're a driver, whether you're a makeup artist, whether you're in lighting or whether you're in editing. But this is a huge opportunity because we're trying to get the city and the county of Pueblo to actually designate content creation as an industry sector, which really means that we're able to find additional resources so that all these amazing creators in our community can actually produce and actually get paid a living wage for doing what they love to do. So we've got 8 film festivals practically each year. Let's fund this and really build the infrastructure. So I see a good future for film in southern Colorado.
My name is Mason Flint. I think that I have a lot of optimism for the future of indie film. I personally see Hollywood kind of starting to the bubble starting to shrink, the Hollywood bubble, and so I think it'd be really cool to see. And I mean, again, I don't know if this is just a film bubble. As someone who is into film, I might have not a less kind of more niche perspective, but I think we're seeing more and more non-studio, international kind of fringe films taking more spotlight, and I think that hopefully, I hope that it's going to continue, and it's going to kind of indie film's going to start to have more power in that area as we kind of turn away from Hollywood a little bit. So right now I'm hopeful. I think it's going to look good.
Okay, I'm Sherry Dadgar. I'm an assistant professor of media and entertainment at CSUP. I've been making movies for the last 14 years, and I believe the future of independent filmmakers would be any sort of independent streaming, hopefully, and film festivals. But based on what I've seen with the big companies, I don't think that we have a lot of luck as independent content creators. It doesn't sound positive, but that's what I thought.
I'm Rico, and I think the future of independent film is, I don't know why, but with film as of lately, especially with what I've been watching a lot, I just feel like there's more and more people that are making films that kind of blur the line between realism and film. So I'm thinking of something like Uncut Gems is the first one that comes to mind. Like, that's a movie that really just feels very real, and how just chaotic and how down to earth everybody is. Well, everyone's insane in that movie, but still they just feel very grounded. And there's a short film I saw that I love. It's called Dennis, and it's about a bodybuilder who, despite him being a bodybuilder, he's a very insecure person. And that's kind of the direction that I've been going with the way I want to make films. Is I just try to, it's very easy for me to see the subtleties in a person that makes them who they are, and I like to try and bring that out before trying to make them act. I feel like a lot of people try to make actors act, and it just comes off as they're acting. And I just feel like that's what really brings the realism out of somebody, is if you just sit them down and you go, okay, what am I seeing in you? What are your strengths, just by looking at you? And I'm not going to try and overdo what I already see in you as far as the qualities and what could be used for you to play a role. So that's mostly where I think it's heading. I just think everything is going to be a lot more grounded in a lot of ways. And especially with, I think with documentaries, I think a lot of people are going to want to try and touch on more. It doesn't matter what, I can't think of an example, but people are just going to try and hit more it's just stuff that's real same with the acting. Like, they're just going to want to try and keep digging and digging to hit topics that aren't being talked about, that are just right in front of us, that are, it's hard to face, but it's very real. Then real is, it's not great sometimes, but, just really raw. Like, shit's going back to being very raw and real.
Hi, I am Justin Engel. I am an actor in Iridium Springs. My good friends Mike Rosenberg and Jeremy Anderson. So where do I see like the future of independent filmmaking? So I think like right now people are getting really picky, I feel like. So I feel like people need to start thinking about like the quality of like their films, like making sure that it looks good, like some people's attention spans are so like small now that like if something is not like if it doesn't look good, if the camera quality is not good, they will just like click off of it immediately or stop watching immediately. So I feel like my main point is like just make sure your stuff looks good and that you're passionate about it.
Jacob Rivera, founder, director of Kick-Ass Film Fest, independent filmmaker, graphic designer, marketer extraordinaire. Where do I see independent film going? Well, I actually think that independent film's making a comeback. You see a lot of, as far as not being so independent, you see people like Nick Cage doing these, independent film runs. A lot of the production companies are working with smaller budgets and doing a lot with them. So I think independent film's coming up. Also, it's more accessible because equipment's getting less expensive, it's getting higher quality. Even people I deal with hate to say it, but even the iPhone's killing the game if you know what you're doing. So I think there's going to be a lot more independent filmmakers, number one. Number two, you're going to see a lot more independent films making it to the big screen at the box office. And yeah, we just keep kicking ass, taking names. If you're an independent filmmaker, I better see you at the Kick-Ass Film Fest.
Hi, my name's Andrew Hartfield, writer and producer of the film Tilly. And when I think about what's going to perhaps be the future of independent film, I'm really excited because I feel like people want real stories and they want genuine stories. And what keeps coming out of studio is very obviously driven by the finances. And so we see a lot of blockbuster type series films that just continue to lose steam. They're not as interesting as they go on, and they keep trying to do one more film in that particular series. I think independent film will speak to that gap in storytelling, and I think people will crave that.
Hi, my name is Brianne Nicole Wilson, and I think the future of independent filmmaking is very bright, actually. People want original content right now, and I think that's really the biggest source for it. So I think it's a really good time to be an independent filmmaker right now.
Hi, my name is Jacob Kimmick. I think the future of independent film, I think that's what the general public and people want. People want unique and fresh ideas and something that matters and something that's fun. People are tired of long 3-hour sad films. They want something fun and creative.
Hello, my name's Kiara Grady, and I believe that I see the future of independent filming to grow substantially. Right now in media, you could see that there's a high monopoly and there's very little room for people. But with every day and new things growing and newer films coming out and people being tired of the norms, I could see independent filmmaking becoming really big in the next few years.
Hi, my name is Ralph Giordano. I have a film this year's festival. It's called Knockout. I'm also representing the Independent Film Society of Colorado and Peak Film Forum in Colorado Springs. So where do I see independent film? Well, this is interesting because I think here in Colorado we have a thriving independent film art form. I think that I always tell people that every weekend somebody is making an independent film, whether it's a short or working on a feature. So to me, I think it's moving forward.
Hi, my name is Severino Martinez from 719, Southern Colorado. I see the independent film industry making more of a mark in society because with all the scandals going down in Hollywood, it's giving other people a chance to come out and be creative and show them what they got. like really. So I think that's like a blessing for a lot of people, you know.
Hi, I'm John Williams. I'm a filmmaker from Boulder. Future of independent film, I'm worried about with the AI, for sure. You know, super sketchy. People writing scripts, the text to video stuff that's going on. Some people are super optimistic about it, just another tool, man. And I'm thinking like, I don't know. So I'm standing on the edge, just kind of watching it unfold. But it's really been a blast up to this point, just watching independent film get so much more accessible for people. The gear getting a lot cheaper. You can get a lot higher quality sound, video. So it's all pretty great. And I think there's so many filmmakers out there that are working unbelievable amounts of hours to produce a 5-minute film, and it's amazing. And credit to all those creative spirits out there that are doing it. All right, the other thing about independent filmmaking, I think that's interesting with the decreasing prices of the productions, is that through social media and just the way to promote your film and go out there and get people to help you out, get a bunch of friends to help you out, it's a lot easier to produce the films than it was way back in the day. I can't imagine shooting film now. There's a lot of people that like to do that. I can't go back. I can't do that. It's ridiculous.
My name is Dead Hand. I am an artist and filmmaker here in Pueblo, Colorado. And I am really excited about AI and filmmaking, honestly, because I'm seeing some of my favorite bands use it to make their music videos. And some of my favorite animators are using it to save time and make these projects bigger than they would have had time for initially. So I think I'm most excited about seeing that as a tool and how I can incorporate it into my own film. Bring it on. I love it.
I am Andrea Naglich of the Collaborative Curators. We're a digital distributor. And I am afraid for the future of independent film. I'm afraid for what AI and technology could potentially do to destroy it. I'm also very techy and into it and feel like maybe it could do cool things. So I would say I have deeply mixed feelings about the future of independent film, and I hope that the internet and the tech of it all make for platforms and ways for people to grow it and make it better, and to bring positive change in the world through it, and to help people see things that they didn't understand through a different lens so that they have greater understanding.
My name is John Dawson, and I'm a filmmaker out of just outside of Boulder, Colorado. And I see the direction of independent films being only growing. I see there being more opportunities like this to show at film festivals and online film festivals, and the amount of content that's being created, with people with they're using their phones or cameras or things. There's only going to be more growth in it, and I think the quality is going to get better because everybody will see the work that's being done and created.
Hi, my name's John Kassler, and I'm an independent filmmaker since 2013 from Colorado. And I worry about the jazzification of independent film, that just cinema, the art form, like narratives about characters that don't know that they're on screen, becomes kind of an art form that leaves the vernacular and goes into the institutions like jazz. Like people, they don't go out to jazz clubs anymore. It's become its own art music that's taught in schools but has no relevance to the everyday person. And I just feel that social media and phones has taken over the audience from cinema. And the audience just never learned cinema in the first place.
I'm Jonah Parker. I'm a filmmaker. I like making documentary and narrative films. And I think the future of indie filmmaking is going to get more popular. And we've seen a rise of a lot of different indie production companies like A24 and Neon. And they continue to grow and showcase better films.
Independent filmmaking?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough question. Because right now I don't really seem to find much unity. In fact, I feel like there's a misconception about independent films. People are thinking that A24 right now is like the indie company, but in reality, all the films that they're putting out right now are like studio level budgeted. So I think that indie needs to find like a new way of like coming together, or else we're just going to sort of stay in like a blah for a little bit.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Anderson. I'm the director and writer of Iridium Springs, co-director rather. Here's what I want from independent theater or from independent filmmakers. I want us to band together and start, keep producing your films and stuff. We need to build independent theaters and start showing us films again. Start showing each other films again, like they did back in the 20s when cinema was brand new, right? Yeah, because screw MGM, screw Fox, screw all these. Because they're just ruining the fun for everybody. I'll just leave it at that.
Hello, my name is Mike Rosenberg, and I am the director and writer of Iridium Springs. The future, this guy stole my answer, but I agree fully that I think we should all get together and start making more independent theaters to all support each other, because, again, fuck corporate filmmaking. I'm still pissed about the Wile E. Coyote movie getting fucking shelved. Fuck Warner Brothers.
Reaching.
And there's so many great filmmakers out there that are just, they're not getting enough support, so I want to see more of that.
Hello, my name is Miguel Rodriguez. I'm a local Pueblo filmmaker, been doing this for a few years now. As far as the independent filmmaking scene goes, I would say I have nothing but positive vibes about where that's going to go, because just even in little old Pueblo here, we see so much stuff blowing up. And then I'm an avid mainstream movie follower, and as someone who follows that stuff pretty closely, I feel like they're dropping the ball at times. And so for me personally, I think that leaves the door open for more creativity, and there go independent filmmakers kind of have the spotlight to shine right now.
Cool. I'm Sonny G, the president of SAG-AFTRA Colorado and Wyoming, and I believe the future of independent film in Colorado, specifically in southern Colorado and Pueblo, is going to be a very bright future, and I believe that the building blocks are there. I believe everything that's going on now, especially with the Pueblo Film Fest and all the other film fests that are in the region and taking over all of almost April, has just been phenomenal for our culture and for our arts and everything down here in Pueblo and southern Colorado. And nationwide, to tell you the truth, is one of the biggest things that's going is how the union and SAG-AFTRA is empowering more independent filmmakers, not only to recognize their gifts and recognize what they have to give and offer in terms of their stories being told and their cinematography and everything else that involves that, but also just lets them know that, there's something they could graduate to afterwards. If they want to do it, they need to be dreaming big. They need to be going out there for it, and they need to go out and capture it. And it's never too late to say never or start or anything. Just go out and get something done. And I believe the independent filmmakers are the very backbone of what we do professionally with SAG-AFTRA. It's where we start. So, yeah.
My name is Jim Hall, and our film is Games People Play. The future of independent filmmaking, where it's headed, that's a great question. Because most independent filmmakers don't make any money, so there's the rub. So it's always a passion project that leads to, as we know, other famous filmmakers who began as independent filmmakers because they're just trying to get traction with a short, a 10-minute film, 15, 20, and you and I know they turn into a feature, but they have success on the film festival circuit. And that's the beginning. But where is it headed? I have no idea. I have no idea.
My name is Charisma Lee Rivera. I made the film Kick Me, which we're screening here tonight. When it comes to the future of independent filmmaking, I'm hoping in the next couple years to see a little bit more ruggedness, I suppose. I think that film seems like a very inaccessible opportunity for a lot of people, and I think it could be more easily accessible if we decide to do away with all of the glitz and glamour of having, your lighting crew and your good cameras and your this and your that. Just find something that you're passionate about, talk about it, put it on a camera, whether it's your iPhone or whatever it is, your voice needs to be heard.
Awesome. So what do you mean by ruggedness?
I guess by ruggedness, I mean the ability to just create something without worrying about how it looks, without worrying about all the small details and, how the light looks, how the camera's angled, stuff like that. While that stuff can be important and is, an art in of itself, I think that film and a lot of the arts in general would be a lot more accessible to youth and stuff if we didn't nitpick it so much.
I'm Adam Smithstead. I made Off Trail, A Summer Away Tale, a short horror movie, independent. And where I see the future of independent movies, I think independent movies are going to go back to where they were back in the 80s and the 90s. I think the studio system is failing, and I think independent's coming back.
I'm optimistic, I told you.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Pugh, and I see the future of independent film going, well, the main thing that where I want to take it is to be used as a platform for awareness and social justice issues, and I think that that's so important. I think that it can really be a catalyst for starting those important discussions that we need in our communities, and that's where a lot of change can happen.
Hello, my name is Daniel Sakapa. I'm an actor living in Eagle Point, Oregon, and I had the pleasure of being invited to this inaugural Pueblo Film Festival to be a presenter and then view a screening of a movie that I did many years ago called Resurrection Boulevard, which will be 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Sunday. But I was asked what I see in the future of the making of independent films and the circuit called independent film festivals. The sky's the limit, and we've got to get you people out there that are talented, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, to devote yourselves to independent films, because that is the future and so important for the country that we live in currently. So thank you very much.
I'm Aaron Alexander. I'm an independent filmmaker myself. And the future is basically toward the sun. It's as bright as it's ever been. I don't think there's been a time when it's been so accessible to so many people, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting more percentage-wise better quality, but the opportunity for people to make work, especially young people, I'm talking about like teenagers, to be able to make really extraordinary work is just... I wish I was a teenager at this time growing up, because the toys that we have now are incredible. So, yeah, independent filmmaking is, right now, I think, there's no way down.
Hi, my name is Joe Griffith, and I think that the future is really actually fully independent filmmaking. I think a lot of people are definitely fed up with like giant studio productions that are overzealous with their budgets, and they lack kind of sort of a passion and creativity that independent filmmaking has. So I think independent filmmaking is going to get a lot more recognition and a lot more notoriety. I think a lot of more independent filmmakers are going to be able to make a name for themselves.
Yes. Hey, so my name is Michael Cohen. I'm a director from Inglewood, and I'm here today at the Pueblo Film Fest representing my film Access Denied, something I shot in 2022. I was asked where I see the direction of independent filmmaking going. I think we have the capability to craft new, fresh stories and ideas that, frankly, Hollywood can't seem to come up with. They are constrained and confined, and we are not. So we have zero shackles on us, and I think we could take that anywhere we please. So that's my thoughts.
Hello, this is MJ Morrow speaking from the Sangre de Cristo Arts and Conference Center at the Pueblo Film Festival. I feel that it's going to be more of a crowd-based, kind of like a friendship making. I guess it's the same that it's always been. It's like a friendship making, collaborative artist thing that you just have to find your soul people with, and it's just the same as it's always been. I mean, it's really, independent film, it's just like make your own dreams come true, create your own story, ask your friends to help you out because they want to do the same thing. So I believe it's going back to the future. I feel like it's going backwards and forwards and now at the same time, but that's just me.
My name's Paul Carr. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Filmmaker, producer, director, writer, actor. My company's Busted City Productions. Well, there's a million platforms online, and everybody's streaming everything these days. So, I mean, they're almost like websites now, these platforms. It's ridiculous. But I think valuing your story and sticking to your guns, so to speak, not worrying about making money. I never chased money to make, as a goal of my filmmaking, but sure, I wouldn't mind making a few bucks, but I think if you want to get your films out there, they will get out there on these streaming platforms.
My name is Megan McGrath, and I'm an independent filmmaker here in Colorado for over 17 years. And to be honest, I think the future of independent filmmaking is actually going to continue blossoming because I think that, be it to say, the big wigs, I think they're dealing with a lot of red tape, and independent filmmaking does not really have that, and we do it more with passion. At least I feel like that's from the heart for those of us that are like, oh yeah, okay, we're not gonna get paid as much or whatnot. So I think I think the future is actually going to continue to blossom.
Hi, I'm Dennis Leone, and I'm a writer, producer, director. I was, and now I've never really worked in independent film. I've always worked in the studio system and done television series. So, I'm not really an expert on independent film. I have some people now that want to make some small films, and I told them all they have to do is come up with the financing, and we're in business because, I know everybody, and we can get it done.
My name is Nick Folletta. I am more of an actor writer than a actual filmmaker, but as far as independent films go, being a part of the process, I think I see them more of a resurgence of short films in the future. I think I see films being more 30 to 45 minutes, just because I think it's less to tackle. I think that it's there's so many more services and streaming services and places for filmmakers now compared to where they ever were. And I think that, kind of the 2 hour to 3 hour range is kind of a crazy task to take on for a lot of people. And I just think that people are going to be in that 30 to 45 minute range where you can make a full project, not make it too long. You find your service you want to be on, and that's it. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's my guess.
I just like to see more independent films.